AITA for canceling my brother's wedding? To make a novel short, my F27 brother M30 met his future wife F28 Ella at a party 3 years ago. Honestly, we never got along, but I always tried to put up a peaceful front because my brother seemed blissfully happy with her. Ella was mean to me a lot. Like a lot. She would make comments about my weight, my makeup, and especially my dog. She hated animals and hated that I would bring my lab, Toast, to my parents' or my brother's house. It always just felt like something aimed to hurt me. When the two got engaged, she asked me to be her MOH since she has no sisters or many girlfriends, and since my brother seemed thrilled, I obliged. What I failed to realize when I accepted the role was that to her MOH meant planning the entire wedding. Like I was booking venues, florists, jazz band, everything. Even worse, she expected me to put my MY credit card down for all of it. My brother and her are not exactly well off, and since I have a well-paying job, I didn't mind holding the deposits, but it was starting to add up to a lot. Every time I asked Ella about it, she would say that it would all be paid back by her parents before the wedding. Well, flash forward to last week, about 3 weeks before the wedding, and she's unbearable to be around. She can't last more than a few sentences before snapping at anyone. So when I of course brought up the money, shit hit the fan. I asked if she had received the updated receipt of everything owed when she exploded. She called me a whole line of terrible names, but the one that stuck out was her saying, "What do you need the money for anyway? Your sick dog is dead now." My beautiful Toasty died about a month before this after he fought the bravest battle with cancer. He was my sole dog and I was devastated. I blinked at her and simply left the room, having no energy to even respond to something so cruel. I went back to my car, and after the 20 silent-minute drive home, I parked the car and immediately called the vendors and canceled any deposit under my card. Every single .1. After almost 20 calls, all that was left of her wedding was the dress and the flower arch. I texted my brother a short explanation. I told him that every vendor would be contacting him if they wished to keep their services, and they were now responsible for covering everything. And that I would no longer be attending. It was a matter of minutes before my phone started to explode and I just turned it off. It's been a few days and I haven't talked to anyone but my mom, who thankfully understands where I was coming from. My brother has tried to call, but I just feel terrible. Both about what I did and about what she said. I know what I did was extreme, but I also couldn't sit by and practically enable her cruelty anymore. I still can't help but feel bad for ruining my brother's big day. So I don't know, am I the asshole for this? Update. First thing asked me paying. Ella was promised a hefty wedding budget when she was younger. Between those years and the pandemic, they had to dip into that wedding fund. In the end, Ella only got a third of what she was promised. They all knew this. She insisted that most of what she had to go to the dress. But she would drone on about how there were so many things the wedding wouldn't have and how it wouldn't be the wedding of their dreams. It was only like a week after that my brother came up and asked if I could cover a few costs of the wedding while Ella's parents made up the rest to pay it back. I do make a considerable amount more, and since this would buy my brother's wedding too, I agreed. Stupid. I know. Second most disgust Ella's treatment of me. Truthfully, she played the nice and loving girlfriend well to most, especially my brother. Even I thought she turned a new leaf a few times, but it would never last. The comments she made wouldn't be always outwardly mean enough for a passerby to pick up, aka my brother. Along the lines of, "Oh, are you sure you want to go out in that? Something looser might be more comfortable, or I would loan you a shirt but I don't want it to stretch out." Mean girl comments, simply put. She lost many friends over her crazy notion of them being jealous of her, even accusing them of being in love with my brother. She had 2 other bridesmaids in the wedding, but they were barely close as well. Someone said it in the comments, being stuck between seeing Snow White and not being able to see the evil queen within. That's the best way to describe her. She's beautiful, but something is rotting inside. And maybe the most asked, did they stay together? I caved and finally answered my brother last night. From what he said, they are on a break. My brother had picked up on a few instances of her acting questionably but hoped it was wedding stress. He was fuming when he found out what she said. I do know she no longer has the ring. Our relationship is definitely going to need some repair, but I think after a long communication break and setting up better boundaries for partners and respect to siblings in the future, we should be okay. Also, yes, I did lose some money. Just as predicted, she hoped I would end up gifting the payments anyway. Ella had told my brother that she was waiting for a surprise check from her grandparents to completely pay it off. Check didn't exist. Thankfully, the no longer to be in-laws have agreed to sell the dress to pay me back for what I did lose, instead of legal action. And, to my boy Toast. All of your sweet comments made me cry for an embarrassing amount of time, lol. I hope I made him proud. There will never be a day I don't defend that dog with everything I have. He is being lovingly remembered by his family and his little brother Crumb. If you liked this video, make sure you hit the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos like this.